In an interview, the Indonesian-born American writer Lee Young Lee once observed, "I have the sense that the world around us, the whole universe in fact, is saturated with presence, terror, wonder, splendor, and death." She says, "Sometimes we do all we can to create illusions that it's not." Time, it would seem, is one of those illusions. The future and the past are ideas that often distract us from being saturated by presence, by its terror or its wonder, by its splendor or its death. You and I live at the intersection of prologue and possibility. It's the only place there is. We're here now, alive in a universe saturated with presence. Why are we here? The poet Jacqueline Berger answers this question with a shrug of her shoulders. Listen to a few lines from her poem titled, "Why I'm Here." "Because my mother was on a date with the man in the band, and my father, thinking she was alone, asked her to dance. And because years earlier, my father dug a foxhole, but his buddy, sick with the flu, asked him for it, so he dug another for himself. In the night, the first hole was shelled. I'm here because my mother was 27, and in the 1950s, that was old to still be single. And because my father wouldn't work on weapons, though he was an atomic engineer, my mother, having gone to Berkeley, liked that. It's good to treasure the gift, but good to see that it wasn't really meant for you. It's right to praise the random, the tiny God of probability that brought us here. To praise not meaning, but feeling. The still warm sky at dusk, the light that lingers, and the night that, when it comes, is gentle. Over the next 45 years, scientists may well develop a clock that's accurate to within a quarter of a second over the lifetime of the universe, rather than the current accuracy of half a second. This improvement will have benefits. Improved GPS precision, for example, better communications networks. It's right to praise the random laws of probability that got us here, the poet says, along with the meaning we impute to the forces that made our world what it is. But the more fundamental question is whether we'll learn to praise not meaning, but feeling. The sky at dusk, the light that lingers, and the gentle night. It's whether we can learn to inhabit a universe saturated with presence, with terror, wonder, splendor, and death. The bottom line is this: time is an abstraction that too often distracts us. The only place we have to stand is where we now stand, in this moment, on this day, thrust here by whatever prologue has gone before, and beckoned on by whatever possibilities yet might come. Does this mean we should forget about the so-called past and ignore the so-called future, and instead take whatever fleeting pleasure we can find in the present? Not exactly. The philosopher Alfred North Whitehead once said that each moment of life arises as an effect facing the past and ends as a cause facing its future. The present moment is an effect of the past and a cause of the future. In other words, everything is here now. Our only access to the past lies in this present moment. Our only influence on the future emerges from this moment. It's all here now. All that is past and all that is possible. The reason we use the term God, by the way, is to remind us that our experience includes all that is past and all that is possible. God is our refuge and hope, we say. Our confession that the past has a refuge and the future has a source. Our challenge is to live each moment, not with ultimate abandon, but with complete saturation. Lived fully, this moment will reveal to us fully the past of which this moment is an effect, and thereby will open to us the future of which this moment will be a cause. The feeling that comes in this moment might happily be wonder or splendor. It might also, tragically, be terror or death. Here's the point. If you let yourself loose to feel whatever the moment is saturated with, you'll instinctively know what the next moment looks like. You'll know what you need to do. Maybe you need to celebrate. Maybe you need to sigh. Maybe you need to make amends. Maybe you need to leave. If you saturate yourself fully with the prologue behind you and the possibilities before you, you'll know what you need to do. The discipline of saturated presence, by the way, is prayer. It's the process of stopping long enough and feeling deeply enough to get saturated with whatever presence you're in. Prayer isn't a celestial version of delivery.com. I'll have the better job, please, along with a sheaf of winning lottery tickets on the side. Prayer is about getting clear what you really feel deep inside, what you really, really want. When you know that, you'll know what to do when prayer time is over. In prayer, as in life generally, everything is here, now. All that is past and all that is possible. On the cusp of this gift of an extra day, we pause to remind ourselves that there is nowhere to stand but here. Life comes to us moment-wise, not decade-wise or century-wise. The clock of life keeps time moment to moment, marking our chances to live fully, and love deeply. The present, this present, is all we will ever have. And yes, it is gift enough. Amen. I love you. May God bless us all.